Hello guys and welcome back. James here from JustDevelopers. So today we're going to be just discussing a couple of things before we go on to actually discussing how to use CSS. So the couple of things I want to discuss with is tools. So there's a couple of tools and websites that I think can be quite helpful. So let's go ahead and have a look at some of those. So there's one website which will help you when you're actually understanding CSS and starting to create websites, and that's called Can I Use. So Can I Use is actually, it looks at some of the properties that you can use, and essentially it tells you the browser incompatibilities, which browser you can and can't use it on, etc. Sorry, but for some reason my internet's really slow. Just wait for that to load. Yeah, so essentially the website is really helpful in telling you how you can use the property, and also on essentially which browsers you can use, and it also gives you the properties to use to add compatibility for older browsers. I'm not really sure why that's not working. Let's try Google. It's typical that when you start recording nothing starts to work. Can I use, so that should be up, could be my connection. Let's quickly check my connection. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it was my connection. Okay, so this is Can I Use. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of stuff here that you might not know about. So if, for example, we want to see I don't know, font size. So let's type in hyphen font size, and then what it does is it searches automatically and what you can and can't use it on. So it's telling us here, if we go down font size. No, that's font size adjust. Okay. Am I? No, that's correct. Font hyphen size. Okay. Ah, here we go. Sorry. It's because it's saying it's found two results. It's showing this one, and it's also showing this one. So yeah. So showing font size. It's telling you these properties are supported in effectively all browsers since IE 6 plus, Firefox 2 plus, Chrome plus one, etc. So it's what it's also showing you is the following properties um, are pretty much supported in every browser as of these ones. So you can see how useful this website can be. So if, for example, we go looking at the Flexbox system, which is a new thing that was introduced into CSS3. So if we go Flexbox, actually let's go display, and then Flex. So here we go. So here we can see display Flex, which is a Flexbox layout module. So as we can see here, it's telling us which browsers it's supported in. But as you can see here, IE, it's only supported in IE 11. And also what it tells you is there's also known issues. So in Safari 10, it tells you, below uses min/max width height declarations for actually rendering the size of flex items. So it tells you issues with browsers, how to get around that. Um, this, I presume, is relative. So, okay, so this is the usage. So the amount of browsers currently, or amount of websites using the Flexbox layout. Yeah, so as you can see, this website is rather useful. Make sure you bookmark it and give it a good old read, and you know, basically have a good look out on it. So the next one that I think is rather useful is Mozilla CSS reference. So if we come to here, it's normally the first one. So here, it's a good little bit of documentation we can read. It tells you how to use things, so like active. It gives you a example, and it then shows you a good working example and then how it will look. It gives you it in a CodePen or JS Fiddle. Um, Yeah, so Mozilla's reference documents are very good. Again, have a good look. If you get stuck, have a good butchers in here, see if you can find anything that might help. Another good, well, this one's actually going to be a tool now. So those ones are websites, they're not really tools, but this is the tool that I've been using recently to code websites. Is its Visual Studio Code. I've found this really helpful, and I found this a lot better than brackets or Sublime. Not to say they are better, but my personal preference is I prefer using this, and that is what I will be using in the video. So if you want to follow using Visual Studio, awesome. You'll be able to follow the videos, no problem. But if you're starting to use a different editor, then we may run into some problems. Well, you may run into some problems because I might be able to give you some hints and tips, but you won't be able to do that on another editor. So I suggest using this. If you don't want to, then there's a couple of us. Like I suggested, you've got Sublime Text, which is a free one. This is what I was using prior to Visual Studio Code. So Sublime Text 3, which is, I presume, is still the latest one. They used to do 2. Yeah, so 3 is the latest version. There's another one, which is Brackets. Again, there's another good one. And there's nothing wrong with them, but I just prefer Visual Studio. So those to me are the best ones. You also use Notepad++, which is a very simple bit of software. I actually use Notepad++ quite often just to quickly do stuff, but for more in-depth stuff, I'll use a proper editor. Notepad++. Essentially, you should download that anyway because it's better to use that than Notepad on Windows. If you're using Linux or whatever else, I don't really know the equivalent, but yeah, Notepad++ is pretty awesome to have. Just not even just for development, but for other things too. And that's pretty much it, guys, as to websites and tools I think you should use. In the next video, I do discuss installing some modules or plugins, however you want to call them, on Visual Studio that help you write things that's a lot quicker and basically make your life a lot easier. So give a watch on the next video, and I'll see you then.